Hello everybody, hope this finds you well. This tutorial is going to introduce Kami, which is a plugin for Canvas, which allows for working with, manipulating, editing PDF files on laptops and Chromebooks. So we're going to dive right in and we're going to set up an assignment with it. We're going to see what it looks like for you on the teacher side of things. We're going to look at what it looks like on the student side of things, and then finally what it would look like in terms of using it to grade in SpeedGrader. So I'm in my Canvas Topics module. I'm going to jump down, and I've already created just a module called Module 1, Kami Integration. So I'm going to come over here and add a new assignment. And we're going to call this so we'll give it a name. We'll go ahead and indent this a couple levels. And we'll go ahead and open this up for editing. And as always, we want to start with some instructions. So we'll put in a couple of real simple instructions. If this is for point value, we would set our assignment group. We're going to jump down to submission type. Now, here's where this gets important and we pay attention to what we select here. Normally we would do online or on paper. We're going to select external tool and we're going to click find. And this brings up a list of all the external tools that we have, like Badger, Dropbox, Edpuzzle, things like that. We're going to be looking for Kami Google Drive assignment. So we click this. Now, at this point, if you're brand new to Kami, it's going to ask you to create an account. And as a teacher, you're going to create an account. You're going to sign in with your Gmail, your school's Gmail, and so that's your FredoniaKS.com account. It's really important that you use this account because it's going to make sure that you're linked to the Kami that we've purchased for the district. It's also important to note that it may say that it's a 60-day trial up in the upper left-hand corner. You can ignore that. They assure us that once everything gets processed, that trial will go away. Again, make sure you're using your FredoniaKS.com account. That's a Gmail account that's tied to the school. If you use your own personal Gmail or some other Gmail account, obviously it's not going to be linked in properly. So you'll go through that process of signing up. Very simple. You'll fill out a few fields. If you have trouble with that, let me know. And then you're going to go ahead and select a PDF. So I'm going to go ahead and select a PDF that I've already loaded into Google Drive. And this is just a really simple PDF file that I created using Microsoft Word. So I select it. And you can see now down at the bottom it has that linked in here. I'm not going to check the load a new tab. That way it just launches directly in the interface. And I'm going to click select. Again, I'm going to leave the load in new tab unchecked so the student sees the worksheet right there on the web page and is able to actually fill it out right there. I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to fill out the rest of my information. So if this is a graded assignment that I want to sync to PowerSchool, I go ahead and check my box here. I come down and set my due date. So I'm going to say tomorrow at 11:59, and I'm going to click Save and Publish. So what you're going to see after it processes here just for a moment, you're going to see that that worksheet shows up right here. You're going to see that you do have tools. This is on the teacher side of things. So you're going to see that is basically in here with your teacher account. You're going to see that we have tools over here that the student would use to fill it out. So they have a text box tool, they have pen tools, and as we jump into a student account, you'll get to see a little bit more of what those look like. So now I'm going to switch browsers and I'm going to jump over to a student perspective. And I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to find sample Kami integration assignment. So I'm going to go click on this. the directions that I've typed in there show up. And then you can see that I'm signed in as a student. So now the student can actually just type directly on this. When the student first goes to this, they're going to be prompted to sign up for their very first time. They're going to use, excuse me, they're going to use their Fredonia KS email account as well. And they're going to select student. And again, what that does is, since they're using the Fredonia KS email account, it makes sure that it's linked to our district licenses. Now, in this case, I'll go ahead and start typing directly on the form. So I want to just type in this. So I make sure that my text box tool is selected. And wherever I want to type, I go ahead and click. And as soon as I do this, you see that we have some familiar word processing options appear up here at the top. So we have our different fonts, we have our point sizes, we have bold, italics, our bulleted lists, and so on. So we're able to go ahead and type directly into this. So we go ahead and type our answers. Now, as we're typing our answers, we're going to notice that we have controls where we can, if we're unhappy with this, we can click the little X and delete it, and that's just going to undo that answer, and we can type that on again. We can resize these, or we can actually move the answer around. So we can resize the text box, we can delete the text box, we can move it around. So now as soon as they're done with this answer, they would go ahead and jump down, and they just simply click off and click on again. And you can see they simply start typing again, and then they come down and just type their answers, and away they go. Now, the pen tool might be something handy that you want to work with. When you click on the pen tool, they can come in and they can adjust the point size for the stroke of the pen. They can change the different colors around. So, and again, they just click and drag, and they can actually type on there and work directly onto the PDF. So once the student was finished at this point, they would just come up and find submit, and they click the button. They're going to see that they're getting ready to submit this, and they click submit. It's going to think for just a moment, saving to Google Drive. So this is going to put a copy in their Google Drive, and then it's going to submit. And when it's all done, they're going to see that changes to done, and the student can click off of this. So at this point, the student has successfully submitted the work. Now, coming back to it from the teacher side of things, we're going to jump back over to Firefox real quick, and we're going to jump in and I'm going to open up SpeedGrader. It's going to think for just a moment, and then it's going to show me the PDF file that the student submitted. So again, I can see the actual PDF file, and then I see the answers that they typed in, and then I can come in and I can actually type on that file and make annotations as well, and simply return that assignment back to the students. I can pop in my grade, I can put in my comments, hit submit, and it's back for the student to review. So there's Kami in a nutshell. Very simple tool. We hope that it solves one of the shortcomings of working with PDF files on Chromebooks and laptops, and gives your students a valuable tool to use. I encourage you to set up a practice assignment with it so that you get a feel for setting it up, and then I encourage you to practice with students before you actually roll into an assignment that's for point value. That gives you a chance to make sure that it's working properly, make sure that your students have the account created before they dive in and have to do it for real on an assignment. As always, if you have questions, please let me know. Have a great day.